Imagine you're talking to a beautiful woman. You guys are having a great time, laughing, until she says these three words. What is your Instagram? From there, you're freaking out a little bit on the inside. You haven't posted a picture since 2019, but you still give it to her, and then inevitably, you never hear from her again. Does that sound familiar? If so, then keep watching, because today I'm gonna give you the definitive guide on being more attractive on Instagram as a man. I've been studying personal branding, dating dynamics, and photography for nearly 10 years and have grown 2 Instagram profiles to over 100,000 followers. These tips, if followed the right way, will make you look more higher status and more attractive. Now here's the question, why use Instagram? Well, if you've been living underneath a rock, you would know that Instagram is arguably the most popular dating site and networking site in 2024 and beyond. And the reason why this is, guys, is because at this point in time, Facebook is outdated, Snapchat, not a lot of people are using. Even when it comes to exchanging phone numbers, most people don't exchange phone numbers. What do? They exchange Instagrams. And that's not only for just getting girls, but even networking with other men too. Now, before you become more attractive on Instagram, you must understand the purpose of it. And there are 5 main reasons. Number 1, to get more girls. Number 2, to network. Number 3, to build your business. Number 4, to show off. Or number 5, to give value. Now, showing off and giving value is more so how you do those first 3 things, but this is the main purpose of Instagram. And once you understand that, now we can get in on how to be more attractive. These are things that I teach to my Digital Romeo students on a weekly basis, but now I'm telling you right here, and make these changes and you're gonna see massive improvement. Starting off first with what I like to call disqualifiers. Disqualifiers on your Instagram account or anything that makes you look low status or thirsty, which in itself will also make you look low status. The first disqualifier is having bad ratios. I know it seems minuscule, I know it sounds so stupid, but your follower to following ratio is very, very important in order to look high status on Instagram. Ideally, you wanna aim for a 2-to-1 ratio, at the minimum, a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're a guy with 200 followers and you're following 2,000 people, then I need you to unfollow a ton of people right now, because that is a representation of your social value. And like I said, I know it sounds stupid, but when somebody first goes to your profile, the first thing they're gonna look at is how many followers you have and how many people you are following. If you can get that to a 2-to-1 ratio, you're immediately placing yourself in a position of a higher status and higher value. Because why do people want to follow you, but you don't want to follow them back? Even when girls DM me, and I kid you not, this is like a true phenomenon, I know how easy or difficult they're gonna be based on their follower to following ratios. Let's say a girl DMs me and she has like 1,000 followers, but she's following 1,500 people, so 500 more. I already know this interaction and her investment is gonna be a lot greater, because based on her social standing, she's perceiving, at least to me, to be low value. So that's the first step, all right? You can do this easily by just removing people on your Instagram account or creating value or showing off, like I said at the beginning, in order to gain more followers. Now, this is a bonus and a little extra one, but you do also want to make sure you have a public account. Private accounts get no exposure on social media. Private accounts get no DMs answered. I understand if you're trying to hide yourself from the world, but if you're trying to be a high status, attractive man on Instagram, then I highly recommend you have a public account and not a private one. The second disqualifier is actually who you are following. And the biggest thing here is that you want to unfollow any IG models or women who do not follow you back. Now, Austin, why is this a disqualifier? Why does this make me look low status and low value? Well, easy answer. Whenever a girl goes to your profile, I kid you not, you probably don't believe this, but alongside with looking at your ratios, they're actually gonna look through your following. And men do this too, not just women. I do this if I meet somebody too, I kind of see who they follow, because who you follow tells a lot about yourself. If you go to an account and he looks high status and he's only following, let's say 500 people, and those people are like high status, verified people, they may even follow him back. You don't see a lot of IG models. That tells me that this guy has his head on straight and that he's probably also in a position of status and or power. Whenever you're a guy and you just go to your following and you're following just hella IG models who don't follow you back, or maybe girls in your city who also don't follow you back, this is an easy way to disqualify yourself, not only from women that potentially could be interested in you, because believe it or not, that's actually a huge turnoff. The only reason why it's not a turnoff is if those same women follow you back. then that's when you're getting to the realm of pre-selection and more social proof, right? But if you're following these girls and they're not following you back, then bro, what are you doing? Let's just unfollow them, please. Now the third disqualifier, and this is perhaps the most popular one, is just simply low status photos. So you guys probably do post pictures on your Instagram. The issue is the fact that these pictures don't convey any sort of social value. There are pictures of you and your dog on a cell phone back in 2019, like I said in the intro, right? You don't update what you're doing. You don't show your lifestyle. Another one is that you probably have too many group photos. Whenever you want to present a high status Instagram account, you need to have more so pictures of you yourself, and then you can do a carousel in a group setting if you want to. I've also recently done this on my Colombia trip, sort of carousel pictures. I didn't put the first image of myself in a group, but more so the second or third image. That is definitely disqualifying you, and this will make the biggest difference in terms of make your account look more high status, is to get rid of the low status photos. So if you look at your Instagram profile right now and you see things to where you either don't look like yourself, the quality is really bad, or you haven't posted in a very long time, do yourself a favor, archive these pictures and start fresh. So we talked about the disqualifiers. Now let's talk about the amplifiers. The amplifiers are pretty much put into two categories: an attractive man with an attractive lifestyle. Now, one thing you gotta realize about Instagram and social media before we even get into this is the fact that social media is fake. Almost everything is curated. So you might be thinking to yourself, I'm not attractive, I don't have an attractive lifestyle, I go to my 9 to 5, my life is very simple. Well, that is fine. In fact, that's how most people's lives are. But like I said before, Instagram is curated. So you have to be more purposeful with your planning of these pictures and your presentation. Now, the first way to do this is to showcase pictures with 2 points of leverage. In my Patreon and in my Digital Romeo group, I have spoken about the points of leverage a lot, but if this is your first time hearing it, this is absolutely gonna change your life in terms of understanding what is a good piece of content for Instagram to make yourself look more attractive and high status. A point of leverage is anything that just simply makes you look good. So some points of leverage might include your location, traveling, material objects, your style, the quality of the photo, your physique, your looks, your sex appeal. All these are considered points of leverage. Now, the reason why you want to have two is because when you have two, that just amplifies the photo itself and makes it stand out. And all this is subconscious, right? People will look at the photo and realize, why is this such a great picture, but I can't put my fingers on it? It's because probably you have 2 points of leverage being shown in this. Now, 2 points of leverage represents an A. 1 point of leverage in a photo represents like a B on a grading scale. 0 points of leverage is average, it's like a C. That's how most people sort of present themselves. And then on the opposite hand, you can actually go negative and have negative points of leverage. So things that make your picture look worse. Once again, these are disqualifiers. And this would be you being overweight, you showing an unflattering position of yourself, you being in a low status environment. These can all be minus and thus making you go into the D or F category in terms of your points of leverage. So you always want to think about, how can I showcase 2 points of leverage on a consistent basis within my Instagram profile? And there are many ways to do this, right? There are different picture styles in which, once again, I've talked about this on the Patreon, but there are portrait styles in which, something that I'm familiar with, meaning that you showcase more of yourself, your sex appeal, your physique as a point of leverage. There are also more like location, scenery, travel, wide angle sort of pictures. And this more represents the high status environment that you're in or traveling alongside with the style, but it's a less of a focus on your face and you as a person, right? It's more about the scene that you're in. Ideally, you wanna mix both in your Instagram content. However, I would say double down on what works best for you. So with me personally, I know my points of leverage is my physique, my sex appeal, my tattoos, my face, my style. So for that reason, I'm naturally gonna gravitate more towards that sort of style of presentation. Now, another amplifier is your stories and your highlights. You wanna think about when somebody goes to your Instagram profile, they're actually gonna do a deep dive sort of FBI investigation on you. Not only are they gonna look at your pictures, but they're gonna look at your stories and they're gonna look at your highlights, which are just saved stories on your profile. With your stories and highlights, you always wanna do something called demonstrating higher value, which is an old school pickup term, which basically means representing yourself in the most positive light, making yourself, once again, look higher status than the average man. So if you're traveling, showing where you're traveling to. If you're on an exotic beach, showing you're on this exotic beach. Also, you can do fit checks. I have a whole highlight dedicated to my style and my outfits, and I always get a woman replying to these more so than anything else. Let's say you like to work out, and I know a lot of you guys like to work out. So if you have something that you can show off in terms of your physique or maybe even your skill set, me, for example, calisthenics is definitely a way to show off in terms of working out. You want to create a highlight showcasing that so that people can see that and view it and either get inspired by it, motivated by it, or overall just see value in the stories and things that you're posting because they see the demonstration of power value that you're giving for yourself. Now, the last amplifier is social proof and pre-selection. The social proof almost handles itself whenever you have a public profile and also have a good follower to following ratio, but it also helps through your engagement. So if you're a guy and you're just starting out your Instagram, you're probably not gonna get that great of engagement on your pictures, but what I recommend you not do is hide your likes. I think hiding your likes actually makes you look more low value than high value. If anything, I would try to get within these engagement groups to where you post a picture in these engagement groups and then people comment on it and or like your picture, and you do that for each other. There are plenty of ways to find engagement groups. You can search on Instagram, you can search on YouTube, you search on Google. There are plenty of them out there, and you can use these initially to help build up the social proof and or pre-selection. You can also showcase social proof and pre-selection through the photos themselves. For example, you at high status venues or exclusive events, or you even with a group of other high status people. Obviously, this is going to depend highly on your network and the things that you're able to go to within your city. That's why, once again, going back to the curated mindset, you have to almost pre-plan a lot of this stuff. And or if you just happen to be out somewhere, try and at least capture the moment, whether it be even on your cell phone, right? That's better than nothing. Simply, if you just start capturing more of your high status moments, even if it's just in a restaurant or even if you're traveling with a group of friends, then you will start to see how that will play into a positive impact in terms of presenting yourself in an attractive way on Instagram and the status and pre-selection that you get through that. Now, I know this was a lot of detailed information, but if you're looking to actually apply these concepts in a more systematic framework, also with the guidance of myself, then I highly encourage you to join my Digital Romeo mentorship. Within this mentorship, you're not only gonna learn how to build an attractive Instagram profile, but you're gonna learn my strategies and techniques to attract women on autopilot through your Instagram. We're also gonna show you how to actually build out a content system so that you can learn how to present yourself on a consistent basis each and every single week in order to build more status and build more social proof about yourself, which can then, as I said before, be leveraged into more dates, higher quality women, more networking with other high status men, etc. All right, so I'm gonna leave a link down below for that. Go ahead and apply, and hopefully we can talk to each other soon. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.